Group 1 racing at Te Rapa on Saturday. Really looking forward to the program. Jason Tan, rail in the 5 metre position. What are we expecting from the track?
Expecting the track to be dead 4 in the morning and improve to a good 3. I'd say by race 1. It should play evenly. That's the expectation. We heard from Ken Rutherford on the first call earlier this morning that he's pretty confident it's going to play fairly, and that's what we want for a dual Group 1 and Group 2 day, Legends Day. Exactly,
some legends will no doubt be made there at Te Rapa as well. Kick-off racing with the Te Akau racing 3 times, Karaka Million winners 1200. 2-year-old affair here, Rainbow Dash, last out winner comes up favourite at $384. Moiraki, who's won a couple of trials. Sherwood Forest, been good at the trials at $440, and Patch Prince at $5. Excellent in trials, but just got a little bit too far back at total on debut.
Sort of missed away from a wide draw, got back and the race didn't pan out, but from that draw you'd expect Craig Grills to be positive, and I'd say have it in the first 2 or 3 or 4. Moiraki looks like it'll probably lead the race. Just at an each way price, I know it's a small field, but Patch Prince, an each way price there, $5 for the win. You might go 1 by 2 or something like that. But look, overall, I know you're a bigger fan of these 2-year-old races than I am. I sort of tread a little bit cautiously with them, but he seems like a horse with a bit of upside about him.
So it sort of fits with my helter-skelter approach to punting, but I do like Patch Prince as well.
Well, you get good reads on these 2-year-olds, which is handy. You look at all the trials and you speak to all the trainers, so it's an advantage that you have that I don't. I don't have many friends.
The trials with Patch Prince were superb. Okay, CK Treeworks Premier 1600. Let's see if we can find some friends by tipping out a winner in the second. Demonetisation at 250, Jason.
Yeah, he looks the horse to beat. Because of the map, as much as anything, he looks the natural leader in the race. Like there's very little speed here. Like Camino Rocoso, on occasions is pushed forward, but he's better coming off the back of horses. He's got a good sprint, so I think ideally they'd want him to just put position behind. They might not have that luxury, but Demonetisation is the horse that I've got to win. Yeah, he showed a lot more last start than a couple of disappointing runs before he was...
And that was his first start since being gelded, so we just hope that that's changed him and he's just a more genuine racehorse now. He's my bet of the weekend. I thought he was a standout. On to the third, the SVS Hamilton Premier, and in the market here, Lucetta at $481.95. So Craig Grills booked for the Boy Wonder, who drops back from 72 grade. Lincoln Sky likely to start in the Waikato Guineas. Not a bad little race this, but a tough one to assess.
Look pretty well placed, the Boy Wonder. I know Lucetta has come up short at 480, and there are a host of other horses at 6-1, including Hoist, that Michael Rodder's picked up the ride. Rusty in Melbourne stepping up in distance from a nice draw, get a nice soft run. But I was happy to go right at the top and play the Boy Wonder on an each-way basis.
Okay, the fourth is the first of our group races. It is the Cambridge Stud Tristram Fillies Classic, 2,000 metres for these horses. And we look at Queen of Diamonds, wide gate, but likely to get somewhere near the speed. You'd think 360, 480 Secret Allure, $5 for the Royal Stakes winner, Imelda Mary, back up to 2,000 metres. And the Real Beal, who was such an eye-catcher in the Karaka Million 3-year-old Classic, Jason.
So 2,000 metres, it's not a long run to the first bend there at Te Rapa. So if there are 2 or 3 jockeys that want to make it difficult for Queen of Diamonds to go forward, that could be sticky. But overall, there are a lot of horses there that sort of take a little bit of time to muster, and connections will be wanting to find their feet relaxed with a view to an Oaks in a month's time. So Queen of Diamonds looks the horse. I don't want to sort of downgrade the form of Secret Allure, and also Stu Lang was keen on the Hillis filly, Imelda Mary, that has been running really well, but she looks like she's got a little bit more X factor than others.
Yep, good race, so no doubt. Let's move you on to the other of the Group 2s. This is the Warren Storm Lifebrokers Waikato Guineas, and this over 2,000 metres for 3-year-olds. All boys in this race. $4 the chosen one, $5.50 Sword and Stone, $5 Lincoln Falls, and Arrogant at $7.50. Good race.
Hopefully Lincoln Sky will be one of the horses that can set up a genuine speed. Matthew Cross was very big on the chances of Arrogant at $7.50. It's his bet of the weekend. I like Lincoln Falls, his preparation, and even though Sword and Stone is only having his 3rd start, he has something about him as well. Look, you're assessing him just off a maiden win, but on the clock and to the eye, he was pretty good relative to others on the day. I'm happy to back them both. look, they're not massive spoils individually, but Lincoln Falls primarily and Sword and Stone as well. But yeah, you know, you look at Arrogant and Lincoln Falls the last time they met, and you could make a case that Arrogant was a better run than Lincoln Falls.
3 weeks of the Derby, I think, is it? 3 weeks?
Yeah,
so,
it's coming up soon.
Yeah, it's a crucial lead up.
So next week Avondale Guineas, then 2 more weeks in the Vodafone New Zealand Derby.
Exactly. Okay, let's move you on to the risk management group. Premier 2100, race 6 and favouritism here with Rondinella. 261.28 was a good win last time out at Total. It comes up against Sacred Day at 320 and 132. Chasu Bao has been in very good form as well at 6 and 190. How did you assess
From
this,
that
Jason?
draw, can Sacred Day keep in touch with the lead? And if it is only a slack speed, then I'm pretty sure Michael Rod will be looking to go early, as opposed to, I think maybe was just ridden a bit too patiently last start. I could understand why, but you'd expect Bully Boy to set up the speed, and I don't think they'll go overly hard. Sam Cole will roll along at a genuine speed, but he should wind into it. He's a very promising stay at Sacred Day.
Absolutely. I think there'd be strong word from the stable saying just get this horse into the race early. Just the last couple, he's just been left a little bit too late, and start before was luckless as well. So undoubtedly the horse to beat for mine as well. Rondinella has been priced short enough as well.
Well, she's drawn inside of Sacred Day, so if she's able to take a spot close or settle a spot closer than Sacred Day, then she's got the turn of foot that might make it hard for him to run down. Like if they're both going at the 600 and she's got that pair closer advantage, then it'll be a race on, and maybe Bully Boy could skip away.
Okay, first of the Group 1s is the Herbie Dyke Stakes, $400,000, Wait for Age, and a favouritism with Dan's 170 and 112. Is that a shorten up too, Jason?
Yeah, I mean, Lizzie Lamore's come out, so she has come in because of that. Look, she's been dominant, hasn't she?
Yep.
And so when you see at Wait for Age level, horses win as in dominant a fashion she has over a mile in 2000, the only, you know, the main case you could make is a horse that we haven't yet seen line up against her, and that's Madison County. The others, you would say that she has deservedly covered. So I think she's the horse to beat and very clearly on top, with Madison County, as the market already says, the most likely to beat her. But I, wouldn't be surprised if on a good track she is still an easy enough winner.
Okay, that is the question, isn't it? Is the 3-year-old ready to step up and match Dan? Wait for Age, he's only 3 kilograms difference since she's been a wide margin. Wait for Age winner at her last 2. Let's move you on to the 8th. This is the BCD Group Sprint. Second of our Group 1, second of our Wait for Age races. Melody Bell, 291.34. At her best, she is the yardstick in this race. Volpe Veloce is a star as well, 391.45. You got the Rising Star in our Drossen at $5, and a horse who's promised a lot, but yet to deliver at this level, High Flyer at $5.50.
Yeah, coming out of a Telegraph run High Flyer that I thought was fair, obviously not as bad as Melody Bell, who was very disappointing, and they've run every test essentially, and they haven't found anything with her. And importantly, following that, she's worked very well. Pleased Jamie Richards, no knock on her whatsoever, obviously presented accordingly. She wouldn't line up if there was a knock on her. So I have to trust that. I have to trust that she's at her best, and if she is at her best, then she is value at $2.90 to me. Again, she could easily be 50 to 1. Like if you price that Telegraph again, having seen it, you say, well, she's no chance because she ran accordingly. So if she is like that, then you might as well have her at 1,000. So you've got to go one way or the other to me. I can't see a middle ground with her. Okay. You price her to her best, or you say she can't win. I'm pricing her to her best. Okay, fair call. It is a quandary, no doubt, for punters, and that's the thing that a lot of people at home who've got the form guide in front of them are exactly thinking, isn't it? And that's the trust that you have to. I mean, you have to take her on trust. And so, someone can make an equally valid argument, say, well, I'm not going to back her, and fair enough. Like I've got nothing that you haven't got that says other than Jamie Richards' assessment. Yep. And he himself, because they couldn't find anything, he still could be wrong. He's a very good judge. He knows his horses better than anyone, but it is possible, and that's not a knock on Jamie at all. That's just racing. Yeah. And there might be something. But the big advantage this time around she wins. Is that she's not drawn the outside like she was in both the Railway and the Telegraph. She's up to 1,400 metres. She'll get a lot better trip, so that's certainly an advantage no matter which way. Volpe Veloce will have her share of admirers, and I know that you are keen to play her as well because she looks like she's in career best form. of what we've seen in 2 starts to date, where she flashed home better than Melody Bell in a railway, off a softer trip, but still, the fact remains. And then she backed that up on Karaka Million Night by winning the Westbury Classic in quite extraordinary last 200 to run down Sleeping Beauty. So she deserves a lot of respect, but it's going to be a good race. Fascinating race, absolutely. Let's move you on to the last, the Breeze 99.4 FM Premier. Favouritism here with Tightline 420, $6.50 for Damazora Ribera, and $7 about Giant Gem. Decent pace in the race, isn't there? Morioch and Signon can go forward. Interesting runner in Ribera, coming back from Australia, freshened. Look, I think they would prefer that there was some rain around, and they're not going to get that with Ribera, so I don't know that $6.50 is a price that you'd want to be taking. Giant Gem's going to run well, not well drawn, but should be charging into it late in his run. Tarapa well, but I'm with Tightline. You know, you spoke about what Tightline had done previously, earlier on in career on the first call, and we saw last start that he's come back really well. Yeah. So, you know, that's good enough just to win again from that draw, and he'll be hard to beat for sure. Yeah, when we saw the Real Beal finish 6th, come out and run second in a $1 million race, it's a really good endorsement, and Stephen Marsh has given us a push for this one as well during the week, so hard to bowl. Tightline, your best of the program at Tarapa, Jason? Oh, best of the program, tossing up between Queen of Diamonds, Dan's Dance, Melody Bell. Dan's Dance. Okay. Dan's Dance is the horse that's the best. Tomato sauce. It's tomato sauce. But we'll multi a lot of them together and make a little bit more. Good luck with your betting. Catch the action from trackside from, I think the Punters Lounge kicks off live. 10:30. 10:30. Otherwise, catch the Riccarton preview on the Punters Lounge somewhere around here.